Hey everyone, welcome back to Trends in Finance. In today's video, we're diving into something that could shake up the global economy. For years to come, China's currency revolution. Could the rise of the yuan threaten the dominance of the US dollar? Let's explore what's really going on, how it could impact you, and whether America's financial reign is at risk. 1. The rise of China's digital yuan. Alright, so first things first, China has been busy. They've developed the digital yuan, a central bank digital currency, and it's been rolling out faster than you can say blockchain. The digital yuan, or e-CNY, isn't just a test case anymore. It's being used for international trade, from oil deals to electronic imports. Imagine paying for goods directly from China without the need for US dollars. Countries like Russia, Brazil, and even Saudi Arabia are already starting to embrace this shift. In fact, 90% of trade between China and Russia is now done in yuan and rubles. These moves raise the question, could we be looking at the start of a global currency shift? 2. The de-dollarization movement. What's that about? Now here's where things get interesting. Countries around the world are beginning to rethink their reliance on the US dollar, a process called de-dollarization. After the US imposed sanctions on Russia, Moscow pivoted to using the yuan for its trade with China. And they're not the only ones. Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and even Argentina have made more deals using the Chinese currency. So why are these countries shifting? Well, some of them fear they could be cut off from the US financial system, just like Russia was. For them, diversifying away from the dollar acts as a financial safety net. But that doesn't mean the yuan is about to completely take over. It still faces hurdles like China's tight control over its currency to avoid potential crises. 3. Why the US dollar isn't done just yet. But before we start predicting the fall of the US dollar, let's pause for a moment. Despite all the talk of de-dollarization, the US dollar still makes up 60% of global reserves. It remains the go-to currency for trade, investments, and a safe store of wealth. What? Trust. The US economy is seen as stable, open, and transparent, allowing people to trade and invest without fear of government interference. Additionally, the global payment system, SWIFT, is heavily US dollar-based. While China's alternative system, CIPS, is growing, it's nowhere near the scale needed to replace SWIFT anytime soon. 4. Could we see a multipolar world? So what happens next? Most experts believe we're not going to see the yuan overthrow the dollar anytime soon. Instead, we may be headed for a multipolar financial system, where multiple currencies, including the yuan, will play significant roles in global trade. This shift could offer countries more flexibility but also introduce more competition for the US dollar. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are already discussing alternatives to the dollar. They've even floated the idea of creating a shared BRICS currency. If this becomes a reality, the US could lose some of the privileges that come with controlling the world's reserve currency, like lower borrowing costs and smoother trade negotiations. 5. The US response. Enter the digital dollar? But don't think the US is just sitting back and letting this happen. The Federal Reserve is actively researching its own version of a digital dollar. While it's not ready yet, a digital dollar could allow the US to remain competitive in the growing digital currency space. Imagine using a US digital dollar for everything from your morning coffee to international investments. Final thoughts, should you be worried? So where does all this leave us? China's currency revolution is definitely something to watch. But the US dollar still holds a strong grip on the global economy. That said, with more countries exploring alternatives, we could be entering a new era in global finance, one where the dominance of the dollar is gradually challenged. What do you think? Will China's yuan dethrone the US dollar, or will America hold on to its financial crown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates on the biggest financial trends.